My dad has a business still, basically textiles. So essentially shirts and women's clothes and all that, right? And when I was around first year in college, right, like 18 or 19 years old, he sent me out, you have to go buy something and you're going to have come back and then go sell it. So I was like all excited. I went trying to figure out what I should buy. And I bought things that seemed natural to me. So I bought some, clothes for t-shirts and I brought it back. And every time I go put it in front of somebody, the customer's not buying it, and I will try like 5 different ways to sell it, but it wouldn't sell. Why is going on? Like, why is it not selling? Eventually, it's about the actual customer who's gonna use it. It's actually one of our very early on values, right? We always want to keep the customer first. Why? Because that's why you're building something and they are the ones who are gonna, use it. They're the ones who are gonna buy it. And if you're not keeping them in your view as to why you're doing something, we will build products that nobody wants, or not nobody, but not enough people want. And if there are not enough people who want it, then as a business, you can't succeed. The hardest thing to fix in a startup's life is really always the market. Like if there's no market for your product, you're done. Like there's nothing you can do. Before I started Lacework, right, I kind of started looking at what are the industries where they have a lot of data and there are interesting problems to solve. Because at the core of it, I think data is the new oil. If you collect enough data, you can process it to figure out what your anomalies are or what your security posture are, or how do you secure something. How do you secure something like cloud in an entirely different way, which was not obvious to anybody for the first 3 years of our life at all. So I think we as a team, Lacework, solved that problem. So that was the kind of genesis of it can be done. It's cheap enough now. Let's do it. There's a new way for us to do security. And Lacework has the lead there today. Imagine you have 2 boats, right? And they're circular boats. And you have one boat where everybody is, kind of rowing whichever direction they want to. Then where is that going to go? It's just going to stand still. And you have another boat where you have people who are kind of directed toward a goal and you're kind of all rowing in that direction. Then you're going to go somewhere. It's actually very important to figure out what the goal is as a team, realize that we're all going to win or we're all going to lose, and then actually go row in the same direction. So I think at some level, every team in companies like us would actually go through that journey, and that bonds you, that gets you ready for the next challenge. And once you're able to meet that, then you're able to kind of go to the next one and be the best you can. And as a team also, like a startup, we were able to do this. We were able to kind of go through all these, problems. That sticks in your head, that, actually builds your career over time, because that gives you the confidence and the motivation to do it the next time around. We are all humans, are all social animals, right? It's not so much fun to win alone, actually. Leaving a legacy is at the very core of why do you do any of these things, right? Why would you not do it? You're not doing it because you actually want to kind of build something and be part of a journey, be part of the experience and learn from those things and face hurdles and go over them. And once you do that, then that sticks with you and then you're ready to do that again. I've done 5, 6 startups now in my life. And this was a lesson from my second startup, I think, where all the challenges that you face as a startup, they all seem daunting many times, right? But that's where your IP is. And if you do it well, that gives you a leg up. And the more you're doing it over time, the more you have a leg up. So we have a fair share of those problems that we can go after and actually solve them. And if we do them well, then it adds a lot of value to us long term. And those are the ones that you run towards, not run away from. As a person who's kind of starting out in my career, I would love that opportunity. If you get that place where you can make a difference, just go towards it, run towards it. Always think about what the customer wants and then figure out what we need to do for that. Win as a team, because if we are not going in the same direction, we're just going to stand still. Take pride in leaving a legacy. I think Lacework is an opportunity where there are a lot of interesting problems to solve, and we should run towards them and solve those problems and make sure that they are solved in a way that helps the customer, because that will become the legacy over time, and you will be really proud of it. I'm Vikram Kapoor. I'm founder and CTO at Lacework.